So let's get into the narratives of both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's attorneys. So first I'm going to start off with Johnny Depp's attorney. The first thing of the narrative for Johnny Depp's attorney was that Heard was the abuser of the relationship, and this was shown by the attorney presenting evidence and testimonies to show that Heard was the aggressor within the relationship and that Depp was the victim. Also, that Op-Ed was the cause of damage to the relationship, and they showed this by them arguing that Heard's 2018 Op-Ed in the Washington Post was the source of her claims and had significant negative impact on Depp's career and reputation. And then the next thing is that Heard's testimony was very inconsistent, and they showed this by presenting different inconsistencies in Heard's testimony and pointed out the lack of accountability for her actions, saying that she didn't take accountability for anything. And then the last thing is that evidence was misrepresented by the attorney, arguing that Heard's team had misrepresented evidence such as photos to support her claims. And then going to Amber Heard's attorney's narrative, kind of like basically the opposite. Heard was the victim instead of the abuser, and they showed this by presenting evidence to show that Depp's had been abusive to Heard and that she suffered significant emotional and physical trauma. And then Depp's team was a victory lap. They claimed this by Depp's team was unfairly attacking and demonizing Heard, and that this could discourage other victims from coming forward. And also, evidence was being manipulated. They argued that Depp's team had manipulated evidence and that the trial was a distraction from Depp's own issues. And also, the gold digger theory was a lie. They argued that Depp's claim that Heard was a gold digger were false and that the trial was a result of her trying to get revenge at Depp. So now we're going to move into the important aspects of the trial. First, starting off with a piece of evidence of Depp's testimony on his finger. And this is where Depp had claimed that his finger was severed after Heard threw a vodka bottle at him. Though with this, Heard maintained that it was self-inflicted by Depp, which I think it was from Amber by throwing a bottle from one of the videos that was found. And then a big one is Heard was editing photos. One set of photos that caught everyone's attention as Depp's team claimed that Heard was editing photographs to make her injuries seem worse. And within the final week of the testimonies, Depp's team called a metadata expert to the stand, Norbert Brian Neumeister, I think that's how you say his last name, and he had said that all three files don't match forensically, and all the photos had to have gone through some type of transformation to change the sizes of the bruises and injuries that she stated that she had. And also another piece of information is that there were multiple audio recordings. Hours of video and audio recordings were played for the court throughout the whole entire trial, and much of it was taken by Depp and Heard themselves during their marriage. And then one of the big ones is the Heard's one-sentence slip-up. Heard had told the court, "I know so many people will come out and say whatever for him. That's his power. That's why I wrote the op-ed. I was speaking to that phenomenon." She also mentioned Kate Moss during her testimony, which allowed Johnny Depp's legal team to bring Moss in as a witness to potentially contradict Heard's account of an alleged assault. Also, like I just said before, was her statement in the 2016 deposition caught on video when she said that she didn't want him to find out about her restraining order filing online. And then there was also a third instance, which was her statement that she wrote the op-ed to get attention for that phenomenon, which was seen by someone as an admission of seeking fame for that, like I said in the beginning. And then one of the last ones that's kind of really an important piece, Kate Moss, which her testimony, she is the ex-girlfriend of Depp, and Moss had appeared for a short but memorable 4-minute virtual testimony as she denied the rumors that had been stated. She was asked about a specific holiday the former couple took in Jamaica during that time, and Moss testified that as she left their room, she slid on some wet stairs, and that's how she got the injuries that she did, because instead of what was said that Depp had assaulted her. And then lastly is in the closing statements, it was said, in closing, Depp's team had argued that Heard was the aggressor, taunter, and physical abuser, or argued that Heard was the aggressor, taunter, and physical abuser, and Johnny was the real victim. And that's where it really took the whole entire part of the trial. So those were the important parts and the narratives of both the attorneys from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.